again, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And we're ready to bring you the NBA on 2K Sports. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First, for the Pacers, George Hill at the 1, Paul George at the 2. And starting 7'2", one of the true giants in the game, another great big man out of Georgetown, Roy Hibbert. Then there's Danny Granger. And it's West in at the 4 spot. And then for the Miami Heat, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslem in at the power forward.
Well, Indiana's success last season was built around its defensive prowess, and they usually would set the tone at the start of the game. They were one of the best in the league at allowing the fewest first quarter points.
It'll be the Heat off the tip. The kick out to LeBron. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Going back to the Pacers once more, you knew they wanted to emphasize defense each game, and Steve, they would always come out and get right in the offensive player's face to start the game.
And they allowed the fewest first quarter points of any team in the league last year, Kevin. That's a great way to kind of set the tempo, set the tone in a ball game. And the Pacers were able to establish that defense right away.
You know, when something works for you, you stay with it. The Heat saw after the 2012 finals that small ball was very effective for them. You can see why they chose to do that, given how hard it is to find a power forward that can match up with LeBron. Makes good sense.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Outside for George. Dishes it to West. The leader can't get it to go. Some solid defense for Haslem. And mismatch is really what make an NBA offense go at times. Not only can Miami overpower you, Steve, you know, with their sheer talent at times, but if you're trying to guard a perimeter play with a big, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, some people still see small ball as a gimmick, but, you know, for Miami, it's different because you've got LeBron James playing the power forward. So it's not really small ball. He can rebound, he can defend, he can do everything. And so the Heat become a nightmare to guard at the other end, and you can rarely take advantage of them offensively.
Heat have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
They'll have to deal with the size and shooting combination that Danny Granger presents, and he knows that is going to be a tough problem. He said that even though Granger might not be one of the headliner names in the NBA, he can eat defenses alive with the mismatches he creates. He's hoping they can avoid that in this one, guys.
Thank you, Doris. 6 on the shot clock. Lets it go from the wing, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
There they go, finally able to drop one in on their 4th try. Well, you look at Paul George, my man, PG 24, a young swing man out of Fresno State. Boy, he had a terrific year last season, was the most improved player last season, and a first-time NBA All-Star. And consider how young he is, just turned 23. And he's got the potential to make plenty more All-Star games. And I think he could ultimately be a Defensive Player of the Year at some time in his career.
Here's Hibbert. Paul George making his last shot. Indiana moving the ball around. Granger for the 3. It's hauled in by Dwayne Wade.
They've had a cold start so far. Just 1 of 5 from the floor here early.
Here's LeBron. That one goes. Come. And for Paul George, the 10th pick back in 2010. What a terrific find for the Pacers.
Well, he was already a good player, but I think the injury to Danny Granger last season created the opportunity for George to really emerge as an all-star. And that's exactly what he did. Dangerous inside and out, excellent defensive player, has a chance to be really special.
Miami leading by 3. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Feeds to Haslem. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
Pacers trail by 3. Hill kicks to Granger. George sets a screen for Granger. Puts the lead pass in front of him. The 3. And the shot is good. Granger's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You know, Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
LeBron kicks to Wade. Wade gets a screen from Bosh. Wade passes to Bosh. Paul George with the steal. Granger up top. Kicks it to West. Back to Granger. He dishes it to George. West inside, and Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And back to Coach Erik Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Here's Chalmers. After Danny Granger's bucket. Looking to end the run. No good at the rim. The Pacers have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Scola sets a screen for George. Off the screen. Oh, look out. Wow. He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year, and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
The Heat trail by 4. LeBron outside. Bosh a screen on Granger. LeBron dishes to Bosh. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on David West.
Well, I tell you what, it was the good pick that was set that turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. A tough team in a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East.
The Heat shooting it from their comfort zone so far in this one, 57% from the field. The feed to Chalmers. Back to LeBron. Shoots. Offensive rebound.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
And it's Hill penetrating, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really, that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. Given it's a big, strong, kind of old-school team. They'll pound you inside, they rebound, they protect the paint. There aren't a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team.
Now Hill. Paul George missing from long range. Hill kicks to Granger. Three-pointer. Miami grabs the miss. And it's on its way from Chalmers for 2. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And Stephenson's checked in for David West. And so here is Miami. It's a 3-point game. Battier kicks to Chalmers. Just 5 on the clock. And again, it's the Heat missing. And here's Indiana. They're on a 13-5 run here. Hill gets a screen from Granger. Hill kicks to George. Plenty of space. Can't get it to go. The Heat go the other way with it. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Good ball movement here by the Heat. LeBron outside. Excellent D there for Scola.
Man, I'll tell you what, this has been one ugly quarter for him.
And it keeps getting uglier. I mean, his touch has basically gone AWOL.
Scola sets a screen for Hill. He feeds it to George. Good, the assist goes to Hill. That's now 8 points for Paul George.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. It's Battier on the wing. Battier gets a screen from Andersen. Battier the pass to Andersen. Stolen by Granger. Outside Hill. The dish to George. In low to Scola. Granger outside. Drills the three-pointer. And it's an 8-point Pacer lead. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Indiana.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Chris Copeland's checked in for Paul George. And it's Watson in for George Hill. Now here's Wade. Battier dishes to Wade. Battier, Granger covering. Wade kicks to Chalmers. And stolen by Scola. Watson with it. Granger, a screen on Battier. Now Watson, back to Scola. Granger outside. Clock at 6. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes in arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there, taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
He's played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived, because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter, so he can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare. Then the Pacers really took them deep, all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Granger. Another miss by Granger.
Did you see his balance there? Guys really faded away. I think that's why he missed.
And here's Chalmers for 3, and it's good. Chalmers has got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against them. It almost seemed Clark to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami's found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James' brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
Gets it to go.
Yeah, something that makes him hard to defend is his ability to receive a pass and get off an accurate shot in one quick, fluid motion. So you better beware of where he is on the floor at all times.
One of the premier catch-and-shoot guys in the league, Steve. There's no question about it.
And here is Scola. After the three-pointer from Chalmers. Out of bounds, Miami takes possession.
That's not what they needed there, that's for sure.
The Pacers making a switch here. Wade kicks to Allen. Back to Wade. Passes it to Cole. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Indiana leading. Hibbert the pass to Watson. Granger outside. Stephenson. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Takes the three. Danny Granger the bucket on the assist from Roy Hibbert. And that's now 11 points for Danny Granger.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Wade kicks to Cole. Back to Wade. Ray Allen is on the wing. Just 3 to shoot. Fires for 3. The shot no good. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Pacers out in front. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And when you consider how the Pacers are doing, Steve and Clark, what do you think?
Pretty good start defensively. This club forced some mistakes and took advantage, and that's how they've built this lead.
And they've built the lead because not only have they forced turnovers, but they've taken care of the ball themselves. So that's a winning combination.
Here is Watson. Pass to Stephenson. He kicks it to Hibbert. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Chris Bosh.
When Hibbert came into the league, guys, everybody assumed he'd be a project, and that's been accurate. But projects can pay off, and to have a player with his size and work ethic and skill is a huge payday for the Pacers.
That one is off. And going back to Hibbert, and Clark, you mentioned this, looked at as a project when he came in, taken with the 17th pick, Steve, back in 08 in a draft that you were involved with Phoenix.
Well, we took Robin Lopez at 14 because he just had much better mobility athletically. We were shocked that Hibbert could eventually develop the kind of speed and lateral quickness that he's done. So pretty impressive that he's put all this work in and defied his critics.
Bosh, that's the pick for Allen. Battier takes a 3. Here's Haslem, and he uses the glass on the way. Haslem's got his second basket of the game.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
The Pacers shooting their third free throw shot of the game.
Well, they were 75% free throw shooting a season ago.
And the technical free throw is good. Hibbert dishes to West. Now the pass to Copeland. The shot's good on the assist by West. And the Pacers lead by 7. And Miami has possession. And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, Roy Hibbert is pretty good friends with Tim Duncan. Hibbert recalls when they met. He said, I met him when I was a kid during the 2001 NBA All-Star Game in D.C., and he actually remembers that moment. We share scouting reports on other teams. It's just a friendship. I learn from him, and you know, he's the best. So I don't know if he picks up anything from me, but I definitely learn from him. Kevin, a great tutor for the young Hibbert.
Hard to think of a better mentor for Roy than the great Tim Duncan. Thanks, Doris.
You know, Frank Vogel is one of the youngest head coaches in the NBA, and in college at Kentucky, he pestered the coaches relentlessly until they gave him a role as a student manager for the Wildcats. And that determination and resolve has served him well as he's worked himself into an outstanding head coach in the NBA.
That doesn't go either for Hibbert.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
Allen with it. Now defended by Stephenson. Allen kicks to Cole. He passes to Bosh. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And for Vogel, an assistant for 10 years in the NBA, and when a coaching turnover moved him into the interim head coaching position in 2011, Steve, he grabbed the reins and didn't look back.
No, he didn't. The results speak for themselves. The teams responded to him. The organization has shown its faith in Coach Vogel, giving him an extension, and he led that club to a deep playoff run a year ago, one game from the finals.
It was certainly a slow start to the season for the Pacers. Their veteran and leading scorer, Danny Granger, was on the shelf with a knee injury, but somehow this team found its identity around defense and the emergence of some younger players that may serve them well going forward. You get Danny Granger back with the young, emerging talent. This team should contend for a while.
Now, here is George. He's got 8. Shot clock at 6. West kicks to George. That's blocked by Battier. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. For Miami, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. And Granger was able to come back for them for a stretch during the regular season, but eventually had to once again miss the rest of the games. But the team had grown to where, you know, that probably didn't derail them, as it might have, Steve, in the past.
Well, the big thing with the Pacers, Kevin, is that they have a lot of depth now across the roster. And with the emergence of Paul George, who kind of took Granger's spot, they were able to move on pretty well without him.
And they take the lead. Battier's got 6 points.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Shoddy defense there. Far too slow to react on the closeouts.
Here's Hill. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Outside, George. George gets a screen from Stephenson. George passes to West. Back to George. 6 to shoot. West. And nothing is falling for him right now. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Cole dishes to Allen. Good ball movement here by Miami. Bosh will screen on Hill. Battier kicks to Bosh. Haslem kicks it out to Allen. Battier, he's guarded by Hill. That 3 off the mark. The Pacers have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. West outside, pass to Hill. Dishes it to George. Feeds it to Hibbert. Working on Bosh. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
After signing the big contract, a lot was expected from Roy Hibbert last season, and he put a little pressure on himself, but he also had a wrist injury, got off to a slow start, and didn't find his groove until the calendar turned to 2013.
Free throw, good. Hibbert. And for Hibbert, a first-time All-Star in 2012. His slow start cost him a shot, I think, to repeat as an All-Star last season. That was after he signed the big contract, too, with the Pacers.
Yeah, but he sure recovered well, because in the second half of the season and the playoffs, he was one of the best players in the NBA. In fact, gave Miami all kinds of troubles in the East Conference Finals.
And he can't hit the second.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great team until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
Hill passes to Stephenson. West inside. Haslem's there. West can't hit. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Danny Granger is checked in for the Pacers. Five to shoot. LeBron kicks to Bosh. And that one's good. Bosh has got 5 points now in the quarter.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Outside Hill. George dishes to Hill. The 19-foot shot, Granger. And that one goes long.
This game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding is one thing that they've been able to dominate.
Yeah, they've chased down that pumpkin often.
Now here's LeBron. He dishes it to Cole. Kicks to Haslem. Haslem gets a screen from Cole. Lets the three fly. Danny Granger pulls it in.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Here's Miami now. They're on a 15-4 run. It's LeBron with the drive. Haslem can't get it to go. Pacers trail by 5. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Now here is Hill. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Back to Granger. Again, the miss by Granger.
He operates pretty well in traffic, guys, but that was a tough.
Hammer time! And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
And here are the Pacers now after the Heat pick up 2. And George, here we go. Granger. The feed now to West. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Udonis Haslem.
Well, you got to love the season from David West last year, coming off the ACL tear back in 2011. I think he's completely back as far as that injury is concerned. He was so good last year, particularly in the playoffs.
First one falls for him. And David West, Clark, a locker room leader for the Pacers last season, helped lead them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a guy I know that you greatly admire.
Oh, my goodness. Love the way he does his work. I call him Real Deal 21. There's nothing fluffy about what he gets done, and he's so smart and so savvy in how he approaches the game, and really a lion in the locker room for the Pacers. That's why that team was so tough in many ways, particularly defensively. They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here.
It's a clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
Outside Hill. George passes to Hill. Hill gets a screen from West. Hill kicks it to West. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists now in this one.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Ray Allen is on the wing. Bosh heads the pick for Allen with the lead pass. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play.
You know, he's been the star of movies before, but Ray Allen recently shared some of his plans for what he'll do after basketball. First thing on his list is to get back in front of the camera and resume his acting career.
The Pacers making a switch here. Watson's checked in. That one misses for Bosh. And for Ray Allen, now 38 years of age. Interesting to see how much longer, Steve, he thinks he can continue and how much teams feel he can continue.
Well, he's had some foot issues that have slowed him down a little bit. I thought he had a terrific regular season last year for the Heat, although maybe a little bit slow during the playoffs. But, you know, great shooters have a way of sticking around.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Guys, as you know, the Miami Heat try to keep the plays they run as simple as they can and rely on their talent and teamwork to win them games. But playing like that can present its own kind of problems. Coach Spoelstra said, quote, "The challenge is not getting bored with simplicity." Simple is what works, though, as evidenced by their back-to-back titles, guys.
Well, Doris, sometimes it makes sense to keep it simple. Thanks. Here's Wade. The Pacers making the shot. It's good from about 19 feet. And the Heat lead by 6. Indiana's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Watson dishes to Scola. Hill with it. Now guarded by Cole. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
And some changes here for the Heat. Chris Andersen is checked in for Bosh. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Miami.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And I like the physical play we're seeing, too, because this is a club that's really pounding the paint area and scoring inside.
Now, here's LeBron. 9 points in the game so far. To the inside. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Pacers trail by 5. And here is Hill. Back to George. He feeds it to Scola. Outside, George. Shot clock at 6. The finger roll finish at the bucket. George has got 10.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Now, here's Chalmers. He's tightly guarded. Here's Allen. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Allen's got his first basket.
One of the great shooters in the history of the game. I mean, Ray Allen is just amazing with that deep range, incredible accuracy. And he can also put the ball on the deck a little bit once or twice, pull up jump shots, get to the foul line. Allen's just one of the most consistent scorers we've had in the game for a long time.
And he's rehearsed that motion for so long. It's automatic. I mean, it's something he can do in his sleep. He doesn't even think about the situation or the defender. He eyes his target and lets it fly.
Wade. A nice shot by Andersen. Andersen's got 4 points this quarter.
He really made that mismatch pay off. A defender giving up that much size isn't going to be able to put up much resistance near the basket. While not as dominant on defense as they were a year before, the Heat still were tough at that end of the court. The thing is, you could see them turn it on and turn it off when they needed to defensively, so they always managed to get the key stop when they needed it.
Now, here is Hill. Kept alive. And the basket by Scola.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
LeBron outside. The dish now to Chalmers. Well, good with the triple. And when you're coming off a title like the Heat are, there is, a natural tendency to cruise. But, Clark, you said this, and Steve, I'm sure you want to comment on it. They can turn it up in a hurry.
Well, there's just so much athleticism on this team that if they want to pressure you in the half court, they usually can force turnovers. And if not, they can also sit back and play a more straight-up defensive style and be very effective that way as well.
Indiana's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Stolen by Andersen. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Andersen with the ball, and that one's good. Chalmers has got 8 points.
Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
The drive by Granger. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
Well, and you'll take what you can from him from the foul line. A season ago, he shot in that low 60% range.
And, you know, that's not the kind of percentage any player wants to see next to his name at the end of the season.
And he knocks down the first one. The Pacers making a switch here. And the free throw is good from Granger.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
And here's Chalmers from the arc, and that's not going to go. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Heat lead by 2. And it's time now for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. We'll be back shortly to get the second half underway.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And it's time to break down the first half of action. I hope you're having a great Friday night so far. A close game at American Airlines Arena. The Heat battling against Indiana. They've been aggressively attacking the rack, getting a lot of points right at the rim. Chris Bosh making a statement in this one. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? But the Pacers getting after it as well. Great activity defensively. They're taking measured risks, trying to force turnovers, putting
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back as we take a look at this soaring view of the downtown Miami skyline. An exceptional performance from Danny Granger.
Boy, you wonder how long he can continue to shoot the three ball as well as he has to this point. It's been lights out.
Steve, you know that as well as anyone, being the shooter you were. Sometimes you have those nights where the bucket looks 3 feet wide.
Wade against Hill. On the wing, George. Good, the assist goes to Hill. And that's 13 points for Paul George.
You know, defensively, you cannot forget about him. They gave him a wide open look there.
The drive by Wade. Bosh, a screen on George. Here's LeBron. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's going to be on David West.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
That was one of those 3 or 4 plays that you see every night in an NBA game that just leaves you in awe.
And that one misses.
And as he has gained more experience in the league, Wade has taught himself to rely a bit more on his jump shot and a little less on attacking the rim. But still, you see his confidence really lies in his ability to attack the lane.
Clock at 6. West passes to Granger. Haslem's there. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Wade, still a player who thrives on getting in the lane, Clark, and for his career, under 30% from long range.
Yeah, you know, his jump shot is more of a mid-range weapon, quite honestly. He loves the bank shot, loves the floaters, and is always looking to get somebody in the air with that pump fake. And usually, more times than not, guys bite, and he gets free throws.
He gets to the line, you're right. Granger hits them both.
Well, if the Pacers wanted to grab the attention of the league with their postseason play, they certainly did that. They marched through the first 2 rounds by knocking off the Hawks and the Knicks. And, boy, remember, they were a game away from the NBA Finals.
Wade outside. Back to Chalmers. Passes to Haslem. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Haslem's got 6. Ultimately, the Pacers would fall to the Heat, but they put them to the test. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They gained respect league-wide even more than they had going into the playoffs. It took 7 games, Clark, and you saw them all, which a lot of folks didn't see coming.
I know that's the case, and yet the way the Pacers showed such grit in that series it indicates they can compete with anybody. And when you have a defensive anchor like they do in Roy Hibbert, they've got a chance to be a championship team before long.
Wade kicks to LeBron. That's good. He's got 13.
Perfect on their first 3 shots now. That's the way to start the second half.
Hill against Wade. Hill kicks it to West. Pass to Granger. Haslem's there. Back to West. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. He kicks to Chalmers. Right side Bosh. Inside. Deflected. Paul George with the steal. All alone.
Oh, ridiculous.
What a move.
Tore it down that time.
And Clark and Steve, as we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets, and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither side really able to create much of a cushion at all. So, which team can make a little run here? We'll see.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Hill against Chalmers. Now Haslem inside. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Chalmers has got 3 assists in the game. Granger left side. Working on James. The fader. Chris Bosh with the rebound. Bosh has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. George against LeBron. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, it's always fun to play the hypothetical game with players. One with LeBron is just how good is he? Like, would he be able to go deep in March Madness playing with a good high school team? That might not be as ridiculous as you think.
The first free throw is good. And Clark, you talked about LeBron and the college level. He looks like he's playing against college players, you know, Steve, with his strength and his size.
Well, he can do everything. No matter what you ask of him on the floor, he can do it. He can play point guard. He can play power forward. And defensively, I mean, how about last year during the playoffs? 1 minute he's guarding David West. In the next series, he's guarding Tony Parker. So the versatility is just incredible.
Off the charts, you're right. And George kicks to Hill. Granger. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. That's on LeBron James.
You know, when Danny Granger was out with injury last season, he saw that the Pacers team had become really Paul George's and Roy Hibbert's team as they became the new faces. While some would throw a fit about it, Granger said he was proud of them and happy to take a lesser role. He just wants to get back out there.
That's good from Granger. And when Granger is healthy, Steve, he's certainly a great player.
Well, you love his versatility, his ability to play both ends of the floor. A tough defender who can guard multiple positions. Offensively, he can put it on the floor, get to the rim, and he's got three-point range. But really an excellent all-around player.
Well, Danny Granger played only portions of 5 games last season, guys, and basically was trying to overcome a torn patella tendon in his left knee. Had to be terribly frustrating for him.
Back to Bosh. LeBron outside. And there's the pass to Chalmers. 6 on the shot clock. Haslem a screen. West with the steal. George with the ball. He's got 17. He passes it to Hill. Back to George. 5 on the clock. Stolen by Chalmers. Leads him in there. And Wade slams it in.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And a long road back for Danny Granger.
Yeah, I know the frustration dealing with a lot of knee issues of my own in my career. It's difficult when you have to face that year after year. Hopefully Granger will be able to come back and maintain or regain, I should say, that all-star form that he once showed. He could be a huge addition to this Pacer team.
A team right on the cusp. Yep. Gets the bucket.
Boy, he can be a matchup nightmare inside the paint.
The Heat with the lead. Wade outside. Pass to Bosh. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. And that's 12 points for Chris Bosh. Hill dishes to George. It's back to Hill. Shot clock at 6. A nice shot by George. George has got 9 points here in the second half.
No misses for him yet in this quarter. Solid as a rock.
LeBron gets the screen from Haslem. Kicks it out to LeBron. LeBron right side. And stolen by Hibbert. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Dishes it to George for the lead. And the Pacers tack on 2 more. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Indiana.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And the other thing they're doing, Clark, is scoring a lot of points off turnovers, forcing mistakes and cashing in.
And it's Wade penetrating. Here's Haslem. West with some nice D. For Indiana, they've gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip. George passes to Hill. Feeds it to Hibbert. Outside, George. He dishes it to Granger. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
What a great game for Granger in this one. He has 23 points, and he's added to his numbers by hitting 4 shots from the three-point line.
Well, 12 points from long range, so the defense has to figure out a way to defend him a little differently. Try to get into his airspace.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Scola comes in for Roy Hibbert. Lance Stephenson subbed in for David West. And so Granger nails both of them.
Boy, still waiting for their first miss from the foul line this half.
100% since halftime, is that right? I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon if that keeps up.
LeBron kicks to Chalmers. Wade outside. There's the feed to LeBron. The Heat need to get a shot off. And Andersen gets it to go.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
Hill kicks to Granger. He feeds it to George. Back to Granger. Fires the 3. Miami grabs the miss.
Indiana had perhaps the toughest defense in the league. They just didn't have any weaknesses defensively. If you attacked them inside, they were able to challenge you at the rim. You tried to shoot over them, they were challenging you with their length on the perimeter. And they didn't back down. So it's not a surprise they were near the top in every defensive category.
Ray Allen, he's checked in for the Heat. Norris Cole comes in for Mario Chalmers. Now here's Wade. He's guarded by Stephenson. Shot clock at 5. Wade kicks to Battier. The offensive rebound. Andersen. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Now here is Hill. Defended by Cole. Now Hill from past the arc. And it's D. Wade with the rebound. Wade's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Clark, the numbers back up what you were saying about the Pacers. A lot of stat heads will look at opponents' effective field goal percentage as a measuring stick for defense. And the Pacers, Steve, were the best in the league at that.
Well, they pass the eye test, that's for sure, Kevin. I mean, they challenge every shot. They get out to the three-point line. They block shots at the rim. And there's a reason this team was so good at the defensive end.
Kicks to Cole for the lead. And it's good on the layup.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Now here is Hill, defended by Cole. Now the dish to Stephenson. Passes it to Scola. Outside, George. Stolen by Andersen. And here we go with Allen running it up the court. Shrugs off the contact and dunks it. He'll go to the free throw line.
You know, the instant that steal was made, they were off and running the other way.
Ball pressure, then a run-out seed. That's perfection to me.
What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Heat?
Well, the great passing we saw in the first half has carried right over into the second.
You know, they're taking care of business in the paint, too. Those are valuable points they've been getting down low.
That one misses for Cole. Pacers trail by 3. Here's Stephenson. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. 6 to shoot. Battier with the steal. And now it's Allen. Running. He can go all the way.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
That's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Well, Heat leading by 3.
You can talk about a lot of other power forwards around the league, and even though Scola never really explodes for monster games, a lot of his opponents will tell you he's one of the toughest guys to deal with because he's so consistent and has a lot of versatility to his offensive game.
Here's LeBron. No good off the back of the rim. Pacers trail by 3. Hill with it. Now guarded by Cole. Outside Hill. Pass to Scola. Just 5 to shoot. He kicks it to Cole. Makes the lead pass. Stolen by Stephenson. The pass to Copeland. Second chance shot. Scola, no luck.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
And Indiana making a change here. Rangers checked in. Speaking of Scola, two-time MVP of the Spanish League. Didn't come to the NBA until his late 20s. But, boy, when he arrived, he made a dent.
He was ready to go immediately because of his experience in Europe, where he was a go-to scoring threat. And, you know, he could do a lot of things offensively, whether it was posting up or making that mid-range jump shot.
.15 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Cole. He's covered by Watson. Here's Battier. Granger with the defensive effort. Here's Watson. The shot misses. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Heat out front. They lead by 3. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. The Heat leading by 3. Now, here's Chalmers. Back to Allen. Inside to Bosh. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
And he makes the first. And for Bosh, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls, and you know the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller, and Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
Watson dishes to Granger. Fires from deep. The shot misses. And Miami the other way now. LeBron passes to Wade. Battier. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. And the Heat lead by 8.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And you know what else I like about him, Steve? He'll do whatever it takes to help that team out. We've seen him take some absolutely gut-wrenching charges that a lot of other guys would simply avoid.
And Chalmers kicks to Bosh. Paul George with the steal. With the floater, offensive rebound. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
And he will take the ball right into the teeth of the defense.
Hibbert's checked in for Chris Copeland. That's good from Granger.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And they're going to have to continue that pace, Clark, because they're down, and anytime you're losing, you got to take advantage of every offensive opportunity you have.
Battier dishes to Chalmers. Wade with it, out guarded by Watson. Clock at 6. It's stolen by West. Now the Pacers moving it up. Here's Granger. Soft touch off the glass. Granger's got 11 in the second half.
Yeah, he didn't even bother to wait around for any help on that break.
That was a one-man job all the way, Steve. He knew what to do with it and when.
LeBron drives in. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
You know, every great player needs someone to push them to be better. LeBron said last year that, that's what Kevin Durant does with him. And I think he works as hard as he does, knowing that Durant is coming to try to take his spot as the best player in the league.
And going back to LeBron for the time being, he's solidified Clark is standing, I think everyone would agree, as the best player in the NBA.
Well, how about 4 league MVP trophies to his credit? One of only 5 players in league history to win that many. One of only a few players to be both MVP of the league and MVP of the finals in the same year. So, enough said. There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
And it's Wade with the jam.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Outside Hill. George. West a screen on Wade. Pass to West. Outside Hill. 6 on the shot clock. Dishes to George. Shoots. And it's Miami with the rebound. Bosh has got his 8th rebound here tonight. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there.
You know, Shane Battier was such a great addition for this Heat team. Really a coach on the floor. And since they added him to the mix, guys, guess what? 2 straight championships.
No good on the free throw. And, Steve, you look at Shane Battier, his ability to cross-match and guard 4s down low is one of the keys that enabled the Heat to go small, especially 2 years ago when they were in the finals.
Yeah, and in the regular season last year, it was very successful for Miami. That's why they shot those 3s so well, because they had the floor spread. But Battier always willing to take on that challenge physically. The question, though, is when you go against a guy like David West or even Carlos Boozer, it gets tougher. And so in the playoffs, Miami has had to maybe go small a little bit less often.
He's a winner, though, isn't he?
No question.
They've been splashing home those 3s since halftime.
Definitely a big improvement in their shooting from what we saw before the break.
Hill kicks it to West. Left side, West. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's going to be on Shane Battier. He's off on the first. LeBron, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. Good on the second free throw.
They really could have used a perfect trip to the line there. Instead, they're still down 2 possessions.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Chalmers passes to Battier. Bosh heads the pick for LeBron. Ray Allen is on the wing. With the shot, good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got his 7th assist in the game. Pacers trail by 6. Hill dishes to Granger. He passes to West. Back to Granger. Feeds to West. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Granger kicks to George. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
Allen for the 3. That is good. And now a 9-point Heat lead.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been 3-pointers.
And it's not just great offense, Clark. The defense is really lacking. Not enough energy on their closeouts.
Shakes him. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
Well, the only way to stop him is to keep him from getting the ball in the first place.
Haslem, he's checked in for the Heat.
You really have to like the work they put in at the free throw line here in the half. I mean, they've been really aggressive in drawing fouls, and then they've been able to knock down their free throws.
LeBron gets the screen from Haslem. LeBron with it, and Granger picks him up defensively.
So a pick was set at the perfect angle on the floor, and he used it nicely.
That's a play we may see from them a few more times.
Why not? I mean, when it works, you go back to it. Make them stop you.
Time call here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
Well, really the heart and soul of this Miami team in a lot of ways, Udonis Haslem. Born and raised in Miami. He's played his entire decade-long career with the Heat, and just a tough, hard-working guy and a locker room leader.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. And back to Haslem. He helped lift the Florida Gators program back to prominence. Took them all the way to the NCAA championship game, playing at center of all positions.
But was really heavy back then at Florida. And he had to lose a lot of weight before he was ready to play in the NBA. Went to Europe to play first. He's been the heart and soul of the Heat organization ever since.
LeBron passes to Haslem. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Haslem's got 4 points now in the quarter.
It hasn't happened as quickly as he would have liked, but he's finally putting some points on the board in this game.
Hibbert gets the bucket.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
He dishes it to Chalmers. LeBron outside, from outside the arc. The Pacers pull it in. West has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Hill kicks to Granger. It's rebounded by Bosh.
He has not been on his game, and, you know, their deficit isn't...
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying, Clark, to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Clark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now. It's their defense, that's for sure.
Of all the guys you want to leave open out on the perimeter, he is the absolute last guy on the list. Attention to detail. Know your personnel.
The Pacers really have to improve their approach against LeBron.
He has 18 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
Yeah, to watch him spread the ball around, get everybody involved is a thing of beauty.
No good on that one.
You know, he's made frequent forays to the foul line. He hasn't made them all, but the overall impact has been significant.
Scola, he's checked in for the Pacers.
He's been to the line here more than in the first. I thought he was a bit tentative in that first, but I like the aggressiveness he's showing here now.
Here's Granger. That one a little long.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. It's not even been a factor.
That's his first personal foul. Udonis Haslem. 2.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Here's Hill. And there's the feed to Granger. Kicks it to Scola. Back to Granger. Puts up a 3. Miami grabs the miss.
Well, it's been a turbulent quarter, really rough for him. Nothing going his way. But he seems determined to shoot his way out of it.
LeBron outside. Haslem is screen on Granger. LeBron kicks to Haslem. Kicks it out to LeBron. 4 on the clock. Allen, that's good.
It's been a humongous fourth quarter for him, especially from long range. He's in a groove, and that tray of his has just been deadly.
And here is Hill. On the wing, George. Right side, Scola. Back to George. The shot. Indiana again missing.
Tell you what, as well as he shot in the last quarter, Kevin, it's a total flip here in this one. He just can't get anything to go in the basket.
Pacers trail by 12. He feeds it to Scola. Indiana moving the ball around. Hill kicks to George. That doesn't go either for George.
I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
That's good. 17 points for Ray Allen.
He's come out here in the second half and done a nice job moving, getting good looks, and finding his range.
Granger kicks to George. Drains it from beyond the arc.
I like the way that he has really stayed aggressive from that three-point line after not making a single one before the halftime.
Miami leading by 11. Chalmers with it. Chalmers off the pick from Haslem. And Chalmers kicks to Haslem. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Haslem's got 11 in the second half. Hill with it. Now guarded by Mario Chalmers. Here's the floater. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, people look at Mario Chalmers and say he might not be your typical point guard. He's not a big-time penetrator or playmaker, but he's a good fit for the Heat with his active defense and spot-up shooting from long range. I think it's a hand-in-glove fit, actually.
First free throw is good. And Chalmers, a 3-time All-American, NCAA champion his junior season at Kansas, received the Most Outstanding Player Award for that 2008 tournament.
Hit what was probably the biggest shot in Kansas history, the three-pointer that sent that game against Memphis into overtime that allowed the Jayhawks to go on and win that national championship.
Bosh dishes to Haslem. LeBron. Bosh sets the pick for LeBron. Allen outside. A 3-ball. And the Heat, another 3.
Boy, has he picked it up in the second half. He's on fire.
Pacers trail by 14. Outside Hill. On the wing, George. Granger outside. 6 to shoot. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Granger's got 9 points in the quarter.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in the second half, and I like that. A little smash-mouth basketball, taking it inside.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
He is arguably the best defensive player in the game today. The amazing thing is that he can guard all 5 positions. You think back, I think that's unprecedented. I don't think anybody has ever had that type of defensive ability in the history of this league.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I mean, and his defense is so good it even makes highlights. How about that? I mean, you love his aggressiveness, chasing down blocks, staying on ball handlers at the hip. I mean, knocking the ball against the backboard. I mean, he does everything, and he does it with such force and agility and flair, but it's kind of understated flair. I mean, he is really quite special as a player.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Hill passes to Granger. There's a minute 34 left in the 4th quarter of this one. Free throw line jump shot, and the jumper is good. Granger's got 11 points in the quarter.
Tell you what, he's had an excellent game, and they're going to have to continue to rely on him if they're going to come back.
Bosh kicks to Haslem. Allen. Allen left side. Bosh a screen on George. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Chris Copeland comes in for Danny Granger. Lance Stephenson subbed in for Paul George. There's the dish to Copeland. 11 feet out, and he hits it.
You know, if this had come earlier, they might have been able to get back into it.
Yeah, but as it is, too little, too late.
And there's the foul on C.J. Watson. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Chris Copeland, a 28-year-old rookie with the Knicks last season, originally from New Jersey. He played collegiately at Colorado and found his NBA opportunity after playing some years in Europe.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahinmi. Granger comes in for Chris Copeland. And it's George in for Lance Stephenson. LeBron drives in. Count it. The defender is called for the block, and this could turn into a three-point play. And Copeland, Clark, more than serviceable coming off the bench last season. Steve, what do you think of his performance with the Knicks?
Oh, he played awfully well down the stretch. Had a couple of big games in the playoffs as well. But what I like about him is the floor spacing that he provides. His three-point shooting is really strong, but he's long and he's got a good body. He should be able to guard multiple positions.
35 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Watson for three. Goes back up. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
LeBron outside. Wade kicks it out to LeBron. 15 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Andersen a screen on Scola. Off the pick. And Andersen slams it in.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
Here is Watson. Passes it to Hibbert. Nice defense from Andersen.
This is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Steve and Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.